Hello John, this is John Snow, one of our Stark brothers, and this is Brandon, and you can't quite see him, but there's his tail. That is Rob Stark in the tube. Hello Brandon, sweetheart, he's a little darling, isn't he? We have failed again on making my video target. This is the first really nice day that we've had for ages where I've actually been able to film due to other commitments. On the 17th of March I got up, it was a nice day, it was sunny, we were expecting snow but it was bright, it was lovely, and I thought, right, I'm going to do some filming. I felt all enthusiastic and I got up and I looked at Ned, and Ned didn't look right. He just wasn't happy. He's been slowly getting thinner and losing weight. He'd had checkups at the vet, we couldn't find anything wrong. We'd given him a bit of Metacam a couple of days for it's getting a bit arthritic with his hind legs. He was going into sort of hind leg degeneration, which you know, quite often happens. It's something that you do need to get confirmed by your vet. And he was fine. We'd give him every now and again a couple of days of Metacam just to sort of make sure that he wasn't having any trouble. These cargo nets are hooked up at the moment. This one's normally down fixed here, but we'd fixed up a load of cargo nets so that he could get around the cage really easily, because he wasn't managing ladders and things. But anyway, a few days before 17th, we'd put him on some antibiotics because his urine was really smelly, and I thought he was getting better. And then on the 17th, when I got up, he was just giving little drops of urine. Hey Rob, my gorgeous Rob, Matilda's son. Hello pretty boy Brandon. There you go, sweetheart. They're having reduced sugar oat Cheerios here. They are all old boys now, so I'm not going to feel bad about giving them a few extra Cheerios, especially as they're the reduced sugar ones, when we're filming. So anyway, getting back to poor Ned, there was blood in his urine. He was only like weeing little tiny drops at a time, and you know, I could see there was blood in his urine. I didn't have to test it, and it just was not good. So I phoned up, managed to get an emergency appointment at the vet. Saw our lovely vet that is very gentle with the rats and experienced with rats, has kept rats himself. And I couldn't actually see him. That's who I wanted to see. I asked to see him, but I couldn't get to him in time. He was at another clinic, so I had to see a lady vet who was also very nice. And yeah, she just agreed with me. His weight had gone down quite dramatically. Come on here. John's really funny. Sometimes he'll only take a Cheerio through the bars, which is a bit naughty. Hello, gorgeous Rob. So getting back to my poor boy Ned, I was devastated. We decided to have him put to sleep because he didn't have a penis plug. He wasn't showing any other, you know, illnesses. It was just purely he was getting old and going downhill. Excuse me. So we had him put to sleep, and the vet, you know, agreed with me, that the young lady, that it was the best thing to do for him. We'd done what we could, really. I wasn't going to have any more tests or x-rays done on him because he was old, and it had been a gradual process, and until that last week he had been okay. He hadn't been in pain, he hadn't had any symptoms apart from being a bit arthritic. And we were very careful with the Metacam. You know, we want to avoid kidney damage with old rats, that he'd only had it occasionally if he needed it for a couple of days, and always with food. Hello, cheeky man. Hello, cheeky man. Yeah. So that was John. And there's Brandon again. Look at him. He's lovely. No, so we had him put to sleep. I did post about it on Facebook, but I still haven't updated the Stark family album because I was just really upset, because out of all these boys, they've been here 11 months, the only one who really was cuddly was Ned. Now he obviously, his previous home had given him a lot of attention. He loved being cuddled, he loved being out, he was my sofa boy. And these others, Rob has always been handled from birth. He's one of Matilda's babies who we were lucky enough to get back when he was 6 months old, because he originally was born at the pet centre and then was rehomed and then came back with the two brothers here, which was John and Brandon, and also Ned. They had been put together as a group because the lady had too many rats. But Brandon and John had never been handled. We knew that Rob had been handled, but he's a shy boy. He's very shy. He's not keen on the camera. I have done videos with him. But Ned was my little darling. In the pet shop, he was very upset when he got taken back for rehoming. And the day I went to collect him, he didn't want to be picked up. And we got him into the carrier, and I brought him home, gave him 24 hours to get used to me in a quiet room, no other rats. I had him up in my bedroom, so it was very quiet and peaceful. And the next day, Ned just wanted to come out, and he couldn't wait to come out. He got used to me really quickly. A few little oat Cheerios really helped. And from that day on, I got him out on the second day, and he clung to me. He didn't want to go back in. He just wanted to be cuddled and stroked and held, and he was just a little darling. And you know, originally he was going up for rehoming with Rob, hoping he would go to another lady, but she didn't want Rob, so we kept Ned and Rob. The two younger boys, Starks, were going to be rehomed to a new rat owner, but then we found that I said, did I say Rob? I meant Brandon and John. Anyway, Brandon and John were going to go to someone, but they'd never been handled. And then we found that John had the problem with his lungs, so I never rehome old rats or rats that were sick. And they now abandoned me. They've abandoned me. And my Ned would be out sitting on my knee now. And I was so devastated to lose Ned, because he was my only cuddly boy. Hey, we've got two other boys, of course, but they're not really cuddly boys. They like to be stroked and come out on the floor, but they're not cuddly boys. For the same thing, they've never really been cuddled and handled when they were little, and they were 9 months old when they came to us. Now, some rats will turn into really cuddly rats, and some we've found, especially with the boys, a lot of them hate being picked up, but once you've got hold of them, they're lovely. Now, Bran lets me pick him up. Hello, little Bran. He lets me pick him up. He likes a little cuddle, but not for too long. But yeah, so we lost our Ned, and I just can't believe it's the first of this group of 12 to go. He was the eldest, although we don't know exactly how old, because the lady couldn't remember. But it set me into a real bad sort of depression. Sorry about camera wobble. My hand is really shaky today. Some of you know that I do have a problem with the tremor with my hands. It is a medical condition. So, we just lost him, and I was devastated. And the thought that in the next year I could lose every single rat, because they're all 2, coming up to 2, or going to be 2 later this year. And it set me off into a bit of a depression over this. Is terrible. This is awful. What I've done to myself again, having all the rats the same age. And normally with our rescues we try to stagger the groups of rats. So if we've taken in older rescues, we'll have a couple of babies, and they wouldn't all get old at the same time. But it can't be helped. Rescues need rescuing, you take them, and that's it. We can't turn anyone away. If we can't rehome them, they come to us. If they're old and sick, they stay with us for life, and that's it. But it did set me into a bad place for a while, and all I did for the last month really was cuddle rats and look at the dismal weather and feel just really fed up. But the sun is shining. The other boys are getting used to not having Ned. It's caused Bran to be a bit bolshy again with the other boys and try and assert himself as alpha, which is silly because the others are very gentle rats. They never challenge Brandon. And he had started to try and be alpha when we had Ned. Ned was the alpha of the group. But Brandon, I think he is alpha now, but he's still every so often, especially at night, he'll be a bit naughty and he'll chase the others and there's lots of squealing. He did catch he caught Rob's back one night. It wasn't a bad cut, it was a scrape, but it's just something that I'm very careful of because we had a problem with Jack with one of our other groups biting Jim, and we had to separate them for a while we sorted him out. But yeah, little Brandon, he wants to be boss, and it's fine. All day he's boss, and then at night he gets a bit lively, chases the others, and he decides he's just like, I'm boss now, Ned's not here, I'm the boss. But it is so silly because the others never challenge him, they run away, squeak and hide. So hopefully he will settle down. But of all of them, Brandon missed Ned the most, and he was very, very upset. He went off his treats for ages. We kept trying to give him extra cuddles, but for a week he wouldn't eat any treats. He was just eating a few bits of food out the bowl. And he did actually get a bit unwell with a cold, which was stress induced because of losing his best buddy. But luckily he's come back from it now and he's accepting treats. So that is my basic news. Everything's going along as normal. Just over a month's time, we're coming up to our 5th anniversary of our very first YouTube video, and for that we're going to be planning some special giveaways. And this is something a bit more exciting than the stickers we had a couple of years ago. So that will be 2 giveaways, one on YouTube and another one on our Facebook page. I will give notification about a week before to let everyone know that we're going to have a special giveaway. So check out on the Facebook page and the YouTube channel for more details nearer the time. And just bye for now from me, and let's just pray that everything settles down, we don't lose any more rats for a while, and it will be happy.